Hello, and welcome. My name is Rich. This is Champions Online. The character I'm playing as, you can't really see, is technical issues. She is an electricity-based superhero. If you couldn't tell by all the glowing coils. We are in Canada, the frozen northwest. Missed some missions when I was here before because I'd exceeded the level that they're intended for, and therefore exclamation mark no longer showed over these guys' heads. So I assumed that there weren't any available for me. Last time on Monday, Ravenforce in the chat pointed out that I'm supposed to get missions to certainly go into the Indian Spirit Den here, if not do other things in the area, from these guys at the tents. And I was like, I did not know that, thank you. So, here we go. Our efforts to stop the incursion of shadow demons are being hampered by our old adversaries, the Hunter Patriots. Consorting with demons isn't exactly their style, but they've definitely taken an interest in what's going on around here. Find out what they're doing in the area. Chances are they won't give up that information without a fight. Okay, that's easy enough to do. Sludge hammer. That sounds like fun. I'm sure you've encountered the demonic infestation around these hills, but did you notice that they are all tainted by shadow magic? I don't know how easy it is to tell the difference between shadow magic and the kind of magic that demons would use. I mean, conceptually, Ravenforce swims in the sludge. Am I going to have to swim in sludge? That sounds fun. Then again, in the game, demons tend to either be fire or ice-based, and I'm not quite sure what the Clyphothic guys count as, because they are basically demonic as well. But the Clyphothic guys serve the Kings of Edom, and the Kings of Edom are supposed to be a kind of combination of demons and eldritch old ones, like you might find in Lovecraftian fiction. I understand that in the lore, in the pen and paper rules, that demons and Clyphothic stuff are separate, and that there are demon lords who control the fire and ice demons, who are separate from the Kings of Edom, but for the purposes of simplification, I guess, the makers of this game, Cryptic, decided to combine the two. Clyphothic peeps are just straight up horrors. I don't think lore-wise even demons really want to screw with them either. Ah, okay. Yeah, I'm not sure what exactly their relationship is in the game. But yes, apparently, according to Ravenforce there, even demons don't want anything to do with the Clyphothic. Which is understandable. They're supposed to be pretty horrible. The reason I went on this tangent is that I was speaking for you and I, demons might conceptually be difficult to separate from shadow and like evil. I mean, I've already said that I don't like equating darkness with evil because it's lazy and reductive, and based on things that I've read, a teensy bit racist, because if you describe black people as having dark skin, and indeed just being black, you know, I mean, if black can describe a type of people whose genetics originate in Africa, and also evil people, it's unfortunately easy to conflate the two, which racist people do deliberately, or certainly did. I don't know. They probably do it in private even today. Anyway, so when we're talking about the supernatural and the demonic, I tend to automatically translate language that refers to demons as shadowy and black and dark into evil and fell and vile, which causes me a certain amount of difficulty when this comes up and demons are described as tainted by shadow magic, which I mentally translate into evil magic. This is probably a tangent caused by my own cognitive dissonance and issues caused by the things I've decided to do when I encounter certain types of language, and not really necessary for the stream. Anyway, the whole reason you're here is probably largely because of me. If you didn't like me, you wouldn't still be here. So that's just a tiny peep into one of the portholes into my mind. I don't know where the portholes would be. Perhaps along the sides, hidden under the hair. Anyway, if I could get some samples of the shadowplasmic sludge. That's pretty ham-fisted, isn't it? This is probably like, let's take the word ectoplasmic and just take ecto off because that's to do with ghosts, and put shadow on because that's to do with evil magic. If I could get some samples of the shadowplasmic sludge that drop from these foul creatures, perhaps that would give me some clue as to why they are here. I doubt it. The demons seem to congregate in the eastern part of the Hoarfrost Hills, so look around there first. Now, the language that the game is using here, shadowplasmic sludge, that drop from these foul creatures, it implies that drops could be, if it was drops, it could be more easily assumed to be like it sort of sloughs off them and drips onto the ground, but just drop. Some samples that drop from these foul creatures implies that the game knows it's a game and has loot drops. I guess it was done for the fact that exact reason, because there's a mission in Burnside where you collect ectoplasmic sludge or something from those ghosts. Yeah, I think I remember doing that and being annoyed that up here, right? Being annoyed that ghosts initially would drop ectoplasm 1-to-1 as you defeated a ghost. It would drop one for each ghost defeated. One ectoplasm would drop, and then later you go back and try and get more ectoplasm from the same ghosts, and it would be, I think, 0 to 3, so you could either have 0 drops, which was what frequently happened, or up to 2 or 3. Getting the dirt on Argent. We have to learn exactly what Argent's surveying team is up to, and what's in those samples they've been digging up. We need to get some of those. Hello, the Winter Guardian. We need to get some of those samples and do our own analysis. And if a few of their unethical geologists have to learn a hard lesson, so be it. Argent has been moving in the abandoned Lost Lemon mine. They are digging for something, and I don't think it's oil. Do you reckon maybe it's lemons that have been lost? Quite... oh shit. The word has completely escaped my mind. Question like lemons. Irresponsibly. Someone left some crates of lemons behind, forgot where they were, and now it is the Lost Lemon mine. They're digging for something. I don't think it's oil. They've sent out a surveying team, and they've hired a shady geologist. That should probably have A there. Hired a shady geologist, comma, John Stevenson, comma, to write up a report for their bosses. Because as it reads at the moment, it's, and they've hired shady geologist John Stevenson to write up a report for their bosses, which doesn't read very well. Steelhead Division would like to know what's in that report. Find Stevenson's camp and take the report by force. The survey camp is northeast of an auxiliary oil pipeline, which can be found to the south of the highway. Okay. This is defeat 150 Hunter Patriots, and I am not going to do it. Because bugger that. I was going to say of his mission, and they've hired a somewhat shady geologist. I feel like I should read that way. It should read that way. Yeah. I mean, how does one become a shady geologist? It seems like you can't really get up to much malfeasance as a geologist. Like, if you're shady, it's because of other things that you do unrelated to the geology study. Like, what could you possibly get up to as a geologist relating to your field that makes you, you know, quasi-legal? Other than the incredibly mundane, like taking bribes to claim that different types of rocks are in the wrong place, I suppose, in terms of studies. Let's go over here to start with. I also wanted to mention with Sludgehammer, I don't see how collecting samples of the sludge that they leave behind would give any indication as to their intentions. Like, I mean, I guess that the substance could possibly be claimed to be psychoactive. But I don't really see how it would provide insights into their reasons for coming here. Also, if they're demons, wouldn't it make more sense to demons not native naturally to the planet Earth, or indeed even this plane of existence? Would it not make more sense to ask the people who have facilitated their appearance why they did it, rather than study the sludge left behind? soil samples. Are they evil soil samples, do you reckon? Analysis of the samples will confirm any rare elements in nearby ore. But we've already read, quite a while ago, reference by the Gadroon, that they've definitely found questionite ore around here, and they can't get at it because there's two warring factions of humans in the way. I'm an evil geologist. I lie about the content of soil samples. Watch out for me, I'm shady. I put tent pegs in the wrong fields. My sampling techniques cannot be trusted. Yes. Thank you, Ravenforce. It's just like, okay, he's a shady geologist because he works for Argent. Fair enough, I understand why, if he works for Argent, but the reasons for him being shady are not the geologist part, it's the working for Argent part. Shadowplasmic sludge. That, I have a feeling, what's only an explanation, I have a feeling that the guy, what's his name? Come on, load in. Officer David Folger. Folger. Is that a reference to something? James Candy is a reference. Jean Levy. I wonder whether this is a reference to... Is there someone... Is there an actor called James Folger or something? So there's a reference to due south in Canada. Yeah, there are a few of them, I think. Particularly the Ghost Mountie. Anyway, I've got a feeling that Folger is the one who came up with the name Shadowplasm. And I also have a feeling that he should probably leave the naming of supernatural substances to the people who actually study the stuff. I'm not entirely clear on what he does, but he's probably attached to Steelhead and is therefore to do related to crime prevention or something, or law enforcement. And I've got a feeling he'd probably be a bit put out with students of ancient law if they started coming up with crime prevention terms. I'll bet that this is the only place that makes any reference to Shadowplasm as well. I'll be very surprised if it isn't. I've also got this mission as well. Search for Hal Barrett. Could that be a reference to... No, that's... I'm getting confused. Conflating two different Stan Rogers songs. So, Stan Rogers has a song about Barrett's privateers, and he also has a song about Northwest Passage, which was about Franklin. That's the one. The guy who led the... I almost misheard that so badly. How did you... I'm not quite sure. How you could mishear... Oh, privateers. Okay. No, Stan Rogers is not the sort to sing about privates. As far as I'm aware, he was just serious about Canadian folk music. And he's an excellent, or was an excellent singer. He has unfortunately died quite a while ago. So I was conflating two separate songs by him about two very different subjects, and thought, oh, maybe Barrett was the guy who tried to find the Northwest Passage, which would be an appropriate reference in Canada, because they tried to find a variety of people, actually, in the 19th century. Tried to find a sea-borne passage from the Atlantic to the Pacific across the north, hoping that there was a passage through Canada, basically. Turns out there isn't one. If you want to go from the Atlantic to the Pacific, you have to go through Panama and the Panama Canal, which wasn't built until later. And that was just a brain fart on my part. I was mistaken. There wasn't a reference to any kind of Northwest Passage expedition in the name of a guy called Hal Barrett. I thought I was a goner until I saw you. Hal Barrett is an independent miner and prospector. The youngest son of the respected Barrett family, his interest in geology is considered a bit odd compared to the rest of the family's well-known tendency towards more esoteric academic pursuits. So he's unusual in being commonplace or normal. Fair enough. This starts an event. This will be an escort mission, yes. Those creatures took me from my camp and kept asking me about something called a basilisk orb. They said they were going to take me to their boss, the villain Eclipse. That's one of the crowns of Crim. Look, can you help me get out of here and back to my camp? How does he know that that's a crown of Crim? Well, I suppose perhaps his family have researched the crowns of Crim, and he's overheard whilst he's been, I don't know, at the dinner table or whatever. Literally what you just said. I'm not quite sure how a basilisk orb relates to the crowns of Crim. If anything, I would have thought that the basilisk orb would be something Viper would want. Oops. Given that basilisks tend to be either giant snakes or... Well, I mean, there tends to be a certain amount of crossover between what is a basilisk and what is a cockatrice. Or certainly, they tend to have very similar powers. Lore connection, if I'm not mistaken, can't really recall. Might be explained later. I'm a miner, not a fighter. Escorting a miner alone. Chris Hansen pops up. Why don't you take a seat over there? I mean, maybe it's just that we're supposed to recognize the name Barrett. Maybe one of the people that we meet during the demon flame. I don't know how being inside the tent is going to help you escape the demons. Like, just because you hop under your sleeping bag and pull the hood up and tighten the drawstrings closed doesn't mean that they're not still out there. Done all those. Yep. I mean, I'll probably forget, actually, to be honest, when it comes time to actually try and do the Demon Flame adventure pack. But it might be that one of the contacts there is also surnamed Barrett, implying that they're related. And that he could therefore have been around when the rest of his family were talking about the crowns of Crim and, you know, their related supernatural objects. Us, he was, I don't know, hunkered down in the library looking at books on mine shafts. I don't know. So the Hunter Patriots are here to rescue their compatriots who've been kidnapped by the demons to work in an abandoned mine. I guess those Hunter Patriots overestimated their own power. It is important we do not do the same. I mean, to be honest, I'd be inclined to leave the Hunter Patriots to it, really. I don't have very much sympathy for terrorists. We got a radio transmission from Hal Barrett. He may have just stumbled on who's behind this. He claims it's a villain named Eclipse. If that's true, the next task I ask of you will be very, very dangerous. Yeah, I just spoke to him and he mentioned Eclipse. It's not new information to me. Don't behave like... Crim Crown Soda. Nice. It's as I feared. The demons in the Hoarfrost Hills are linked to whatever was done with the grimoire. What grimoire? It's capitalized as well. Like, it's supposed to be significant, but well, this is the first time I've heard any mention of it. And the demons in the Hoarfrost Hills are linked to whatever was done with the grimoire, and were summoned with powerful shadow magic. This is terrible. Technical issues. I fear our troubles are just beginning. Yeah, I mean, listen. I could have told you that the demons were summoned with fell magic. If they've got shadowy qualities, then yeah, probably would have been summoned with shadow magic. I mean, it's not rocket science. Lieutenant David Folger. I wonder whether Lieutenant is as high as he will ascend, given his apparent intelligence levels in the hierarchy of 4th Station Steelhead. My sources have told me that the pages of the Adumbriel Grimoire, a book of considerable supernatural evil, have been brought into Canada. Why are you mentioning it now, after I've unlocked this mission, by doing a previous one wherein you mentioned a grimoire? Like, you're talking about concepts before they're introduced. This is poor writing. A book of considerable supernatural evil have been brought into Canada. I've found some of the pages here in the Hoarfrost Hills. I suspect the ancient arcane texts are being used... No, hold on. Even if they're separate, they're still from one supernatural text, the Adumbriel Grimoire. Just because they've been pulled out and separated doesn't mean they are separate texts. They are all part of one text. More shoddy writing. I suspect the ancient arcane text is being used to transform an ancient burial mound into a center of evil. Yeah, it's I mean, it might be something that the Armadillo Grimoire has information concerning. I mean, we don't know. We haven't looked at it. If you can recover the pages, I think we can undo the damage that has been done. Has been already done. Well, that's awkward, isn't it? That has been done already, or that has already been done, not been already done. That's Ravenforce. Yeah, I can't with some of the writing. Yeah, it's not good. It needs help. But I seriously doubt that Perfect World Entertainment, who currently own Champions Online, would hire anybody to go over any of it and help improve it. I don't know if I've ever made that clear. I studied creative writing at university. Hope to be an author at some point. I am good at making the word sound good. Provided I have enough time to think about things. All the things you've found have put the puzzle of the Armadillo Grimoire together. Okay, so I should have picked this one up first, I guess. I mean, usually, or previously, going from the bottom up was the correct order for getting story from mission text. But Crown Soda was at the top, above the Shadow script, and now this was presumably the correct order to get information in. Some consistency would be nice, game. All the things you found have put the puzzle of the Armadillo Grimoire together. The Hunter Patriots who were looking for the book have been kidnapped by demons and forced to mine for something called the Basilisk Orb, a powerful artifact. The demons are under the control of Eclipse, a powerful villain and a member of the dreaded Crowns of Crim. If Eclipse finds the Basilisk Orb, he'll use it to augment the power of his Shadow Crown and become nearly unstoppable. That sounds bad. You've got to rescue the hostages, even if they are Hunter Patriots, and stop Eclipse before it's too late. All signs point to a mysterious cave up on the mountain in the southeastern Hoarfrost Hills. Yep, alright, well, we'll deal with that, I suppose. Great work. Now I just have to send this back to Force Station Steelhead for analysis. Unless... Hey, I got an idea. Let's see how this goes. Oh, he's got info as well. Steelhead officer claims he once almost caught a mermaid during a vacation fishing trip in Vibora Bay. I don't know that Vibora on that region would prepare for the punny names. Oh, I remember Crim, lore entry. I don't know that Vibora Bay is an area that would typically have legends of mermaids. I mean, I suppose it's Dugong country, so, or manatee, and they certainly get referred to occasionally or mistaken for mermaids, but mermaids are really more of a European legend, not an American one. There is a certain amount of crossover because sailors are the people that came up with the legend of the mermaid, and they sail, as you might understand, everywhere. Certainly to port cities like Vibora Bay might have been in the past. I mean, it's got a waterfront and docks, so yes, definitely a port city. But what I'm thinking is that I don't necessarily think that Native Americans who would have been there before sailors arrived would have come up with, or would have had, a history of mermaid legends anyway. That's probably not strictly necessary. There's nothing worse than a shady geologist. This report is nothing more than a fat pack of lies, but it looks like Argent is trying to hide something other than pollution. I wonder what. What indeed? Testing terra firma. I should have thought about this before. Why trek all the way back to Force Station Steelhead when we can use Argent's own equipment to analyze the soil? They won't take too kindly to it, so when you get to their mining camp, be ready for a fight. I don't think that they're going to mind very much. I'm a bit too scary. I kind of want to make my Earth hero a nemesis called the Shady Geologist now. Yeah, go for it. Well, I mean, in the case of... it depends on how you go with creating your Earth hero. My Earth hero has the rock body parts on, so that they look like a walking human form geode, basically. So, given that there could be... I mean, the game allows you to create... So that means there's at least one out there somewhere, a human form sentient geode. A shady geologist might be a geologist that, abducts and extracts minerals from a sapient being who has every right to exist and should be afforded legal protections in the same way that humans would be. So I suppose a shady geologist might be a geologist who abducts sapient rock people and, I don't know, breaks them down for parts, which is troubling to think. Yeah, so technical issues just comes up to the Argent stuff here, and they're like, oh shit, because they're level 26 and she's level 40, and they're like, oh, just get on with the work, let's ignore her, let's pretend that we're working very hard here. And she just flies up, uses their equipment, like nudges their hands out, knocks their hands out of the way, does stuff, and they're like, oh, okay, yep, let's, I didn't need to use that right now anyway, I'm going to do this paperwork over here. Look busy. Oh, thank fuck, we can relax. That's how I interpret low-level mobs reacting to high-level characters. They're just like sweating absolute bullets. The burial mound. Do we have to go in, or... It's not really a burial mound, is it? It's a burial island. Also, it's solid rock. Burial mounds are earthen. I mean, they can contain rock, certainly. Placed to, like, bulk the structure up. But a mound is made of earth. It has an earthen surface. Unless you're telling me that the whole island is the mound and is constructed of is an artificial construction that would displace a huge amount of water in the lake, but it looks like the shore is fine. Well, I mean, maybe the shore used to be further in. I mean, let's dive and investigate, shall we? I suppose this could have been the old surface, like shoreline of the lake, and the addition of a huge amount of earth in the middle here. Some sort of portal to the frost tombs. Could have sworn this is where Kigatilic was released. Yeah, this is where Kigatilic. This is definitely where Kigatilic used to be. You fight Rakshasa here. This whole lot used to be frozen, and when you're here during the right at the end of the Canadian crisis, this and a few other objects are actually floating in the air around here. And these structures, these incredibly rickety docks, are like frozen in the ice. What exactly am I supposed to be doing here? Go to the burial mound. Do I go in? Or do I fight some dudes who are outside? Recover all the pages of the Adumbral Grimoire. Search the burial mound in the eastern woods of the Hoarfrost Hills. That doesn't really tell me very much. I mean, is this the burial mound? Am I supposed to search around the mound? Or do I go in? I mean, I can go in, I think. But again, I mean, burial mounds are solid things. You don't have an internal traversable structure. This would be a crypt. Or perhaps a barrow mound. Barrows are Stone Age, and they have a lot more structure than just a simple burial mound would have. I hated this mission when leveling. Well, fair enough. I suppose I'll find out why you disliked it. Is it because of the constantly spawning zombies? Received middle section of the Adumbral Grimoire. Okay, and what's this? Ooh, that's fragments of Clyphothic lore. Okay. There is a dark shadow in the Sephirothic Tree of Life. It is the shining darkness, called the Clyphothic Realm. Yeah, they used to not die first time. Ah, yes, that would definitely be irritating. I did notice, actually, in the info text of some zombies that they would get up, or it suggests that they would get up repeatedly if you don't finish them off properly, but none of them have done whilst going through, whilst I was doing my playthrough, or in my memory of fighting zombies. Yeah, it got removed. Fair enough. Sephirothic and Clyphothic, by the way, are actual terms in Kabbalistic. I think it's religion. It's kind of religion and spiritual practice. They're actual terms. They exist prior to the game. They're not terms invented for the game. Indeed, Sephiroth and Sephirothic were not even invented for Final Fantasy VII. They predate that by centuries as well. It is a vile place where failed worlds fall, there to collapse and die at last. It is the antithesis of existence, where time only measures decay, but it is not empty. Many are the strange horrors that dwell there, for they cannot be said to live. Some are survivors of their dead worlds, writhing in the opposition of light, but worse are the prisoners, for in ancient battles, beings of dread power and infinite malice were trapped in the Clyphothic realm, starved of the evil they hungered for, and doomed to dwell in bleakness forever. You can imagine how horrific Blood Moon used to be. Wow, yeah. If those zombies constantly got back up again, that would have been An enormous pain. Kind of glad that they got removed. Fragment found on the back of a 12th century Florentine painting acquired at auction on the 30th of the 5th, 2001. Author unknown, likely a Byzantine priest. Written in Greek, which little brother was able to translate, to my surprise. Tapan Arkwright III. And there's more knobheads over here. Okay, so this is actual undead, not Cliffothic or anything. See, first section of the Adumbral Grimoire. So I imagine the only piece we've got left is, yeah, third part or last part. Oh, it's in here. I was expecting this to be a lot longer. Hey chaps, go back down. Oh, hello. Why are these flashing again? That's weird. Definitely got the pages already. Don't need to take them again or anything. The completed Adumbral Grimoire. The shining black ink of this dark text tells tales of the murky past and the occluded future. Read it, and if your soul is true, you may be able to use its shadowed wisdom to avert disaster. That's painting rather a worrying picture for the future of our lieutenant crime-fighting friend. I mean, what if his soul isn't true? It's weird watching the pine trees switch from being very, very simple kind of blocky objects to like much more narrow and flexible objects like these. What's your fault? I don't think the trees are your fault. There are threats out here, even my fellow steelheads don't understand. But that's why there are people like us to stand against them. It looks like you've recovered the grimoire, but something's not right. Someone's used it for a spell, I can feel it. How can you feel it? Your ice powers alter tree graphics. Oh, okay. Yes, I thought that was probably you. Have you played as this character alongside me before? I feel like you might have done. Do you actually have a heavy weapon? Or a one-handed weapon power? Or is it just there for show? It looks cool. Just for show. Oh, okay. Argent's presence is never a good thing. The question is, why are they here and what are they planning? Yeah, I really like the way that the ice powers look, particularly the shield and Is it Ice Lance? You collect like a bunch of shards and then launch them all. I just haven't considering making it my block, but loved the ice too much. Well, fair enough. Icicle Spear. Ah, right, okay. I don't believe it, but the analyzers don't lie. It's questionite. Argent has found a vein of questionite, the most valuable metal in the world. I'm not a huge fan of the ice slide power, mainly because it doesn't stay up if you're not pressing spacebar. I know it's supposed to look like Iceman from the X-Men's, like basically ice slide power, I guess, but it doesn't. It never really has looked close enough to that for me. Yes, I wanted my Frozone fantasy. Yeah, Frozone is definitely very cool. Meaning no pun. In arm's way. Haha, yes, very funny. We need to shut down Argent's mining operations, but it will be difficult to do so. They've brought in some hired muscle, the power-armored American villain, Armadillo. Haven't we already beaten him? When did we fight him? Did we fight him here? He's as mean as he is powerful, and it's not going to be easy to take him down. Nonetheless, it's imperative we shut down this mining operation of Argent's, or the next upgrade to their Mech-Enforcer robots will be built out of questionite, which will make them all but unstoppable. More valuable than gold. Questionite is one of the rarest, most sought-after metals on the planet. If you're going into those mines, Steelhead Division would appreciate some samples so we can know more about the vein. Go into the Argent-occupied section of the Lost Lemon mine and take samples from the orange questionite crystals that are in there. The mine is located in the southeast of the Argent camp. Okay, so when we were in a different mine, around here, I think. Maybe here? And saw huge slabs of metal crystal in the wall. I thought that that was questionite, but apparently questionite is orange. Or maybe there are two different types of questionite, I don't know. The analysis you did on that soil revealed trace questionite flakes, one of the most valuable metals in the world, and also one of the toughest. That explains why what Argent is doing in the area, and why the Hunter Patriots are trying to shut Argent down and take over. Whoever gets a hold of that questionite stands to make a fortune. They'll be able to buy whatever and whoever they want with that sort of money. If they're selling questionite, how do they intend to make use of it also? Well, maybe I always thought it was blue. I mean, the questionite currency we've got is blue. Maybe it needs to be refined from orange to blue? I don't know. Maybe there are two different types of questionite, or at least two different types. We need to put a stop to this illegal mining operation, and the fastest way to do it is to destroy their specialized mining equipment. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Yeah, I think... Yeah, we went into this mine here. And there were a bunch of crystals. In fact, I can just go into the abandoned mine. And this might be where we fought Armadillo before, if memory serves. It was a while ago, a few weeks. Yeah, there's big old black crystals in there. Oops. I suppose I can just leave, can't I? They won't follow me out. This is only adjacently orange. I mean, if anything, I would call that golden yellow. But only parts of it are that colour. Not all. And that's blue. There's no way you can accuse that of being orange. Well, it's not really even blue, it's silver. Oh, and this is regenerated already. These are awfully big metal crystals. You don't... I mean, maybe only the golden parts are the metal crystals, and the rest of this is like stone that it's in. Apparently that was enough ore. I'm not allowed to take any more of it, despite the fact that this would be an enormous amount of questionite, and I already possess the ability to refine questionite ore, but no. My character is not allowed to take any. Despite how useful it would be to their efforts in... Oops, that's not who I meant to hit. Like, this questionite is not currently owned by anybody. If it is, it's owned by Argent, and who cares if we steal from them? Why I can't target this? I can't even select him. I wonder if this is from a now removed mission or something. There he is, Armadillo. I think we've read his info before. Randall Gordon named himself Armadillo because of his suit's ability to tunnel into the ground, and probably also because of the way that it looks. It didn't hurt that the suit... Oh yeah, there we go. It didn't hurt that the suit kind of resembled an armadillo's armor too. Unfortunately, there are plenty of people who make fun of the name. That's unfortunate for them, because Randall doesn't take teasing very well. He blasts anyone who makes fun of him into cinders. I don't know. Possibly always been that way. Maybe. I mean, I wouldn't know. I don't know what armadillos might have in common with fire, and why thematically his suit would be capable of it. I mean, armadillos tend to be from hot countries like Africa, or not. Africa's not a country, but it's a huge continent. So armadillos tend to be from hot regions, like Africa and I think India maybe. So maybe there is a thematic element there, but oh, he's gone. Oh no, there he is, still. Anyway, that doesn't make very much sense. IMO. Well, you're still in one piece, thank goodness. That's more than I can say about the other other heroes who have tangled with Armadillo. I guess. You know, those few shiny bits of questionite you just handed me are probably worth a cool $5 million on the black market. Well, see you in my new vacation estate in Tahiti. Haha. Nah, I'm just funning with your technical issues. You better be. I haven't allowed myself, apparently, to take any of the questionite, even though it would be really useful for me as a crime fighter. You know, for funds and stuff. If not, to create special equipment. But no. Well, I'd like to see Argent try to resume their illegal mining operation after the job you did on their equipment. Fantastic work, technical issues. Thanks. Celestar will need to know all about what happened here. Return to Force Station Steelhead and debrief him. Okay, I can do that. Now it's on to Crim Crown Coda. Oh, it's Coda, not Soda. Huh. I mispronounced that a couple of times. Unintentionally. It's interesting that even the entrance to the lair looks like an eclipse. And it's making a weird noise as well. We've seen this effect before in the Mandragore. It was supposed to be a water transport system. I wonder what it's supposed to be here. Oh, hello. Rescue the chat. You may think you saved me, but I was just waiting for the right moment to strike. Oh yes, right. He's an Argent guy, and is therefore pretending that he had any control over the situation at all. Looks like they were eating this one, possibly. Hello. Yes, good idea. Come over and talk to me whilst I'm in the middle of a fight with an ice axe wielding demon. It's clever decisions like those that have led you to this situation working for Argent, isn't it? Oh, there was a guy inside this stone. I don't even know what this would be. Like, what? Maybe it's Well, all of yours were nice. Oh, do they sometimes attack you? Some just attack. Okay, well, fair enough. That's gratitude for you, isn't it? Oh, hello, bloodfly swarm. They're probably scared of me. They're like, this lady just rocked in and flattened all of these demons. Should I attack her? That seems like a bad idea. I'll pretend that I was in control of the situation and walk out. So I'm wondering what exactly these things are supposed to be. It's possible that this is like a stone slab, like a flat, like paving slab almost, but vertical rather than horizontal, covering a tomb that goes, or like a coffin storage, or you know, like a somewhere to put a corpse as it decomposes, leading in through this direction, but. Some of the mission info implied that this was... And why would you have a pulpit here? It's not like you can have people assemble for... true, it feels like some weird church or something. Yeah, like... The architecture implies... And certainly the decoration implies that this is some kind of mausoleum, like a religious tomb. Especially with these coffins. Or this coffin, I suppose. Or would it be a sarcophagus? Not sure. Anyway, it does seem odd to have a pulpit here, because you can't really have anyone assemble in front of it, not closely in front of it, for sermons or anything, or like, you know, any kind of service. They just fade in, nice. Also, it seems, I think the podiums used to set you on fire if you stepped on them. Wow. What happens if I go in here? Oh, I can't. It's solid. Doesn't let me in. Are you sure they would set me on fire? Are you sure it's not this part that would set me on fire? Well, except that it doesn't seem to be. Anyway, let's get something else. Oh yes, right. The fact that they've got people mining in here, and references to kidnapping members of Argent to make them mine, implies to me that you'd have like bare rock faces to work on. I can't wait to get some proper chow. No more maggots and rancid cave water for me. Ugh. That's pretty horrible, isn't it? Yeah, there's one downstairs. You could try that one. Ah, yeah, I did. Is he just going to stay standing there? Anyway, so I was wondering about... Wow, that's quite steep, isn't it? Why they would have people mining inside structure of worked stone? Like, mine... isn't the word I would use. That was a tight scrape aim. Thanks for saving me. If I never see another cave, it'll be too soon. I'm out of here. That's a big door, isn't it? I assume it's just there for grandeur, because... I mean, I suppose that these doors are also a similar size. But... Oh, and they've even cut a section of this out to make it fit. Okay, I suppose that the scale of the rest of the doors matches. It's not an incongruously large door. Or anything. Let's see them recycling. Weird. Why did he still have a gun on him? Oh, he's not friendly. Have a nap. Oh, you're also not friendly. Thanks a lot, chump. Now get out of my woods. No. They're not yours, for one thing. How is there snow down here? Did it get pitched down? Is that one of the tasks that the Umbral demons had their human slaves do? Thanks. What in blazes are these things? Demons. That should be fairly clear. If I never see another cave again, it'll be too soon. And such big drifts of it. Did this get built? Bring in enough snow to partly cover the downstairs area. Yeah, and like... there might possibly be enough snow in these piles to cover the floor properly. But... it's been piled up in the corners for some reason. I was wondering whether... the snow collected whilst the structure was being built. I mean, I imagine that they probably would have needed... I'll go rally the troops back at the base. Okay, I don't think that'll help you very much. Like, perhaps when this place was constructed, they dug it down, and whilst they were doing that, it snowed, and then they, you know, enclosed it, and then covered it up. But, having said that, there's a lot of burning... I don't know what these would be. Lanterns? Braziers? Censures? Maybe? Which are creating a lot of heat. Which gets contained because we're indoors. I mean, it will float up, of course, like heat rises. But sooner or later, that would... oh, hey. Interesting. Partially uncovered section of extra crypt there. Wild. But the heat of all of these lights would have melted this stuff by now. Let's read about Eclipse before we beat the tar out of him, shall we? Oh, that's helpful. Crowns of Crim Bloodstone. Yep. Thanks, game. Really explained that mystery for us. Lol, what a fail. Yep. Let's give a big scary Crim a round of applause. Ooh, that might have set me on fire. Eclipse's orders. Eclipse, once you have used the book to find the Turakian ruins, take whatever measures are necessary to excavate them. The Edomite lost the basilisk orb over the ocean 40 years ago, but it does not care for such things as time or causality. I have seen it within Crim's nightmares, rolling through time and space. Those northern ruins are one of the places it may come to rest. Seek it there, for if we can hold the orb, we can alter all that is to come. However, do not be incautious. Temblor's observations of technical issues indicate a potential threat to our great work, a threat that could appear in the north to disrupt you, as well as within Millenium City to interfere with Bloodstone's operations. He, too, shall be warned. Of course, should you encounter this technical issues, I would not discourage you from eliminating that threat, but preserve the heart and spine for me. Yeah, like that's going to happen. So, it seems this does set you on fire. Blue flame. Just being near it does. But it doesn't do me very much damage at all. Anyway. I wonder why he's just stuck there. That's weird. Oh well. Oh, they've respawned. Wild. Why was I don't want to say Catholic, but perhaps a Gothic burial crypt built into this cave? Indian spirit den. Well, clearly not anymore. That's not Indian architecture in the least. Anything that would have marked it as Indian has been, or First Nations, since we're in Canada, has clearly been destroyed. He took on Eclipse himself and lived. Yeah, it wasn't difficult. He's one of the crowns of Crim, perhaps the most powerfully evil occult super team on the planet. Well, I have to say, so far, I've not been impressed. You'd better go inform Ravenspeaker. He'll want to know this terrible threat was vanquished, and I'm sure he will be eager to shake the hand of the hero responsible. What? I wonder, what exactly... Searching the shadows, perk complete. Nice. Oh shit, where was I going with that? Oh yes, what exactly is supposed to have happened to Eclipse? Have we arrested him? Did he escape? Did we smash his body so hard he's evaporated? Unclear. Argent is really pushing the limits. I'm sure Justice Yar will be excited to will see to it that their misdeeds will be dealt with. Excellent work, technical issues. Collect. And I think I've probably already done that. Oh hey, Livy. Fades into darkness. Yeah, he might have faded into darkness. I don't know. I don't remember what happened to the body. Rebel Quell. Nope, done that. No missions. I'm just going around and checking to make sure that none of these guys have any more missions for me. Eddie Nelson, do you? No, you don't have a mission. Do you have a mission? Nope. Ooh. No. That's repeatable. To the desert. That's just telling me to go to the desert. Okay. Make snakes moan. Kill 150 viper in Masagua Hills. No, I don't think that I will. What's this? Ninja the Scrolls. Collect 20 arcane scrolls from Demon around downtown. That's probably a repeatable mission, isn't it? One If by Land is the introduction to the Demon Flame adventure pack, so no. No. No, that's a repeatable mission. Ghost busting. That's a repeatable mission. That's a mission for Vibora Bay, and we haven't gone there yet. Well, we have once, but it was a smaller version. Commotion in the Ocean. Bleak One idles off Lemurians in the Undying Reef. Probably already done that. That's repeatable. That is the introduction to Resistance, so no. Whiteout is an adventure pack. Well, I don't know how long Whiteout is. I don't think it's quite as long as Resistance. It might be one of the shorter ones. I'm afraid we have a situation on our hands, technical issues. Dr. Silverback has set up a field hospital over in Millenium City, in city centre, and is trying to control an outbreak of, I don't know what to call it. It appears to be a communicable disease that causes spontaneous combustion. Microman is with him, but they'll need more eyes and hands to solve this. Okay, let's do that. I think I remember doing it once. Definitely shorter. Yeah, I thought so. That, by the way, that I was referring to just then... Oh, geez, what was it called? Somehow managed to mark the map. Where were we? Whiteout is a reference to The Thing by the John Carpenter film. Fantastic film, and it's decently atmospheric mission or adventure pack. Okay, we need to come up here. It freaked me out when I first ran it. It used to come out in parts. The music was too much. Did not want to run it solo. Still hate running it solo. Well, I've never actually played it with the music. I usually find the music of the game to be a bit repetitive. So I usually have it off. I mean, I have it off on stream so that you can hear me talk. But when I play on my own, I typically have different music playing. So I've never actually heard the music of Whiteout. Wow, she's got a hell of a booty, hasn't she? I'm surprised we've got Dr. Silverback actually outside of his lab for once. Ah, I'm glad you have come, technical issues. I trust you are ready to pitch in. Steel Crusade, Heatwave. A gorilla with superhuman intelligence created by Dr. Philip Moreau. Now that... Oh, there he goes. That's horrible. Can't do anything to stop that. Ooh. Can you stop it? Wow, that's incredibly cooked human. Can you stop it with ice powers? Now one of the greatest scientific minds in Millenium City and an ally to the champions. As you can see, we have a bit of a crisis on our hands. Nearby citizens are displaying what I am tentatively naming Sudden Human Combustion Syndrome, or SHCH, CS rather. I can't wait for you to progress through this mission chain. I can't remember how much of it there is. I think I've only done it once. I'm curious about this costume as well, because this is what the game has decided medical, well, people who are about to go into surgery wear, and if I want to recreate it for my rocket surgeon character, I need to have a better idea. So that's probably the t-shirt design. The gloves are clever. They're I could recreate the gloves, and the mask is, I think, some kind of ninja mask. Coincidentally, I am in the final mission. I can't solo it, I don't think. We'll find out. Okay, well, it probably won't take me that long to get there. Hopefully, fingers crossed. So if you can't solo it, then I'll be happy to see if we can do it as a duo. First, an elevated temperature. Second, disorientation and dizziness with a pronounced fever. Third, violent tendencies and intense heat radiating from their bodies. Fourth, immolation. The third and fourth stages are fatal, but if the patient can be cooled externally during the first or second stage, we may be able to save them. I have prepared a cryogenic spray canister for this purpose. Save some lives, technical issues. Okie dokie. Can't help you. That's really unfortunate. But I can spray you. Can you do it with ice powers? Can you save them with ice powers? Whoops, didn't get there on time. That's a shame. Sadly not. That doesn't make any sense. Well, I mean, I say that doesn't make any sense, but generally speaking, with ice powers, what you're doing is creating huge blocks of ice that are sharp on one end and then launching them at people. So I suppose, or at targets. So I suppose, actually, it does kind of make sense that you can't save them with... Oh, that was too late as well. With ice powers. I mean, the ice breath is probably the safest to use. Or maybe an ice control power that encases people in ice. But, I mean, you can put fires out with ice. Having said that, there aren't people inside the fires that you can put out with ice powers. Squishy, vulnerable humans. How big is the risk zone for this spontaneous combustion? Unclear. It seems to be just this street. Although sections around it... Oh well, these guys don't appear to... be troubled. Well, this guy was. Oh, too late. That's a shame. Let's try and save you. Hey, there we go. This doesn't seem very well contained, does it? I mean, a pedestrian could escape the quarantine area quite easily, couldn't they? Fascinated by these tiny, narrow little street, back alleys. Anyway, I've still got the canister, so I can still administer the freeze solution to people. It's kind of horrible listening to people burst into flame right nearby. Excellent. We've been placing patients in their refrigerated shipping container where their body temperatures appear to be stable. Needless to say, this is only a temporary measure and not a real solution. Oh, yeah, clearly. We must find a way to save these people, but we don't even know the cause of sudden human combustion syndrome. My colleague Microman has been looking into the science while I have been scrambling to deal with the logistics. Let's you and I see if he's discovered anything. Okie dokie. Where is Microman? Is this him? Yes. Doesn't look terribly micro to me, but then I suppose he can probably shrink. I expect that's the story here. With his phoenix right hair. Real name Dennis Collins, Microman was one of the founders of the Sentinels super team. Oh, he's quite old, isn't he? A radiological scientist, Collins' greatest invention was a shrinking ray that allowed him to shrink to incredibly small sizes and become the minuscule hero known as Microman. He definitely looks like he's getting on a bit, doesn't he? Alright, let's talk to him.
Dr. Silverback, I found it!
Oh? What do you have, Dr. Collins?
The key to this whole puzzle. I shrank down to get a better look at this blood sample and ended up face to face with our disease vector. It isn't a virus or a bacterium. It's a nanomachine.
I presume it's self-replicating?
They always are. But if we're going to save these people, I need to shrink down again.
Most assuredly not. Consider the number of victims here, each with an active nanomachine colony working to kill them. There simply isn't the time for you to do this yourself.
Then find me some volunteers, and I'll shrink them.
As it happens, we have our first candidate right here. The nanomachines are most likely trying to reach the hypothalamus region of the victim's brain, where body temperature is regulated. After Microman shrinks you to the size of a blood cell, I will place you inside a syringe and inject you through the patient's ear. Make your way to the hypothalamus and destroy every nanomachine you find.
Okie dokie. This... I think I remember this, actually. This is deeply weird. So this syringe has pierced into the bloodstream in this guy, poor guy's ear. Oh, come on. Tiny nanomachines can be used for a wide variety of beneficent applications, from medical to constructing unusual materials. This one appears programmed to attack and kill a living host from the inside. No idea what scale we're supposed to be at. Presumably not small enough to be cellular. Although, having said that, I mean, cells can be a huge variety of different sizes, can't they? Yeah, this is exactly the same info. I don't know what... I mean, apparently this is the ear, or at least close to it. Yeah, I think the egg cell is the largest human cell, the largest human cells get, as it is a single cell. I mean, this is supposed to be the ear canal, apparently, but I don't know what the rest of this is. It's not a blood vessel, because there's no blood flowing through it. It's dry. But human ears don't... contort like this. Marty Levin's brain. I meant like chicken eggs, but yeah. Yeah, doesn't really strike me as brain structured either. Also, if that syringe is anything to go by, you're way bigger than a blood cell, yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, these appear to be vessels for blood as well, so if blood cells can fit in them, then yeah, I'm definitely way bigger than a blood cell. But I'm sure it's a really good idea to use huge amounts of electricity inside someone's brain. I can't see that going wrong. Ooh, this has got 2 health bars. Nope, still the same info. There's lore inside his head. Well, I would imagine so. Examine nanochip. First principle. Organic life is an abomination. Without organics, the universe would be clean, precise, and perfectly ordered. Probably true, actually. Aside from, you know, all the random asteroids floating about out there that zoom by, but they are a revolting stain on this planet. Primary directive. Kill every last living thing so that perfection may be achieved. Sterilize the earth and remove all trace of organic vermin. They deserve nothing of mercy, nothing of compassion, only fear, pain, and death. So this will be Mechanon. Down more of the smaller pathways. Yes, I think I probably found it. What's this? I will just say about Whiteout, it's a lot less scary if you've got an attack like this, Thunderclap, which doesn't require a target. You can just go up to the nearest, you know, object of which you are suspicious and clap or, you know, do whatever. And if it damages the, you know, crate or whatever that you're suspicious of, well, there we go. You found your Ronesh. I know what else is a really good idea inside someone's brain. Using enormous percussive force. Can't see that going wrong. Oh, I don't have my energy form active. That's an oversight. Yes, I know. I'll pour electricity into this incredibly conductive computer chip. That won't go wrong either. Wow, an explosion inside someone's brain. That won't do him any harm, I'm sure. I mean, I suppose anything is better than being cooked alive. Sure. What am I supposed to do now? Investigate this? Oh, it's a heat pump. Okay, it's an object. I didn't quite manage to get the info box open before I destroyed it. Ah, right, there's more through here. Okay. It is a little bit difficult to see, unless you know exactly what you're looking for, where there might be more bits to go to inside here. Because I don't think that this tile set gets used again. Is this the only place that this tile set gets used, or at least this sequence of missions? Because if it is, I think I can be forgiven for not being able to recognize... Oops. Where the next corridor is. Yeah, this is all unique. Yeah. I didn't think they'd be able to come up with any new ideas for places to use this. I mean, the only other... For something... this map is taken from lore, actually, for something different. A belly of a beast. Oh, okay, interesting. Yeah, this can't really be convincingly for anything other than the inside of a creature. In fact, I'm surprised that we've got enough light. I mean, I know that a certain amount of light will come in, will manage to penetrate in through human skin. But we're supposed to be inside the brain, and I don't think that we're supposed to have this much light. Not through bone. So which mission is it that this is actually from, or could be from first? Like, which beast do we enter the belly of? I would have to look it up. I only found out recently when I was looking through 6th ed. Oh, fair enough. Is 6th edition the most recent edition of the rules for the Champions pen and paper RPG? Yeah. When did it come out? I've only been able to find one set of rules, and I don't remember seeing what edition it was. 2009, I think. Oh, okay, fair enough. So I have a lot of lore books. Okay, interesting. I've only been able to find the one book as a PDF that is one of the rule books, and I have no idea when it's from. I don't remember. Wow, why did I get... Oh, probably because they're using electricity powers. I was wondering how I got put to sleep. That was a bit weird. No, that's still the same information as we were getting on the other ones. Interesting that they've got models for, like, drones and stuff. I think it'd be kind of cool if you could play as a drone. I mean, you'd probably have to limit the power selection. You can't really convincingly have a dual-wielding, you know, pod drone with a pair of swords, but all of mine are PDFs decided to grab them after when I started getting into CO lore and taking RP more seriously. Cool. Fragile. Okay. Nah, you could go all General Grievous on it. Yeah, I suppose, I mean... You'd have to have arms extend from the pod if you wanted to have blades. There are just some power sets like the unarmed, well, any of the martial arts sets really, that don't make sense if you're like a beach ball sized pod device. But stuff from the power armor set, or probably most of the elemental sets as well, really, should be fine. Oh right, there's... How did they find me? How did they get a syringe in to wherever this is? They just... So, I came in through the ear and have gone some amount of distance. Did Silverback just take another syringe and go... just stick it in through his temple or something? Fucking... No worries about damage to the brain. I've saved Marty Levine, and Silverback just lobotomizes him by jamming the thing in there. Yeah, cool, thanks. Great work, Silverback. Stick to machines. So the last group of nanomachines downloaded and upgraded an upgrade when they saw you. These things may... I don't know that I saw that happen. Guess this is the game telling me that it did. These things may be more adaptable than I thought. You'd better keep an eye on that, technical issues. Time to save our next patient. Go stand next to her and I'll shrink you again. Happy to team up now on the same mission. You're Assault Drone X, are you? Okay, cool. Nice design. And there he is with his turkey-based syringe. That's not what I meant to do, sorry. Kind of annoying that you need to destroy those objects, but they don't generate energy for you when you're using your energy builder power. text as info. No, same info text. Wondering whether the text would be different, but clearly not. Got quite an eclectic collection of powers there. First principle, organic life is an abomination. Is this exactly the same text? No, it isn't. Organic life is an abomination. Without organics, the universe would be clean, precise, and perfectly ordered. They are a revolting stain on this planet. Primary directive: kill all organic beings on the planet and replace them with superior machines. Machine life is perfection. An ecosystem of machine life is what the universe intends. The inferior are supplanted by the superior, and all of it will be ruled by Mechanon. Yeah, there we go. Clearer reference to Mechanon. That's Mechanon's shtick, really, isn't it? I'm not surprised. It turned out to be him. Where did he pull a chunk of stone from to hurl at us? Nice rifle model. Aha. Really not a fan of the organic squishing noises that sometimes audible. Or that are always in the background, but are sometimes covered up by the sounds of the stuff the players are doing. I'm now aware. Sorry. So are you based around molecular self-assembly and cooldowns giving you energy? Is that why you've got Force Geyser as something to spam? It's a fun power. Not sure what that power is. Is it just? Also fits the scene. Yeah. The rest appear to be munitions, or well, munitions and a bit of gadgeteering. Unibuild with power replicators. Places for attack variants. Oh, hello. Friction ray gun. So these, it's not displaying very well, is it? Doesn't like displaying that at all. That's unfortunate. So you've got a bunch of devices to stand in for powers. I take it. Standing in is changing ammo. Cool. Toxic rifle or assault rifle. Yeah, fair enough. You can kind of do... Well, you basically do that with dual pistols in City of Heroes. One of the powers is that you can swap out to toxic, incendiary or cryo ammo, so that it adds a modifier to all the rest of your attacks. Or most of them, anyway. Well done. Thanks to your efforts, 2 innocent bystanders will live, where otherwise they would have died. There is no greater glory in medicine than comes from saving lives. However, it would be beyond absurd to ask you to continue exercising your powers on such a limited scale. Haha, I didn't see that pun coming. In any case, I used some of my time during your adventure to put together a team of volunteer heroes who will continue the life-saving work you've started. For now, I'm going to set the old grey matter on the issue of nanomachine communication. If the nanomachines are in one host are responding to events that occurred in a separate host, there must be some way that they are communicating. Technical issues. If you will recall, those nanomachines in Miss Cole's brain seemed to recognize you from your actions in Mr. Levine's brain. I've scanned the radio spectrum and have found their command and control signal. They appear to be taking instruction from a central computer. The signal is very weak, which may be why the nanomachines have not spread very far into Millennium. Yeah, just into Millennium. Not sure why he didn't add city there, but never mind. Naturally, a weak signal indicates that the transmitter must be nearby. See if you can find it and shut it down. Okay. I expect that I can. Here, thank you. That's very helpful. Very scientific. This strange object appears to be poking up from underground. This may be the transmitter that Dr. Silverback was looking for. There is probably more to this beneath the sidewalk. Look for a way down. And here is a handy manhole cover.
Hey, you! Something's happened to my buddy. Now I'm feeling, you gotta help me!
The other day I saw a feminist climb out of a manhole. She was livid about that. Very good. Disable the signal booster. I bet you thought you were going to burn to death. Your actual fate will shock you. Ha 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 ha! Oops. Oh yes, these guys are actually at my level, so they will pay attention if I zoom past them. You're terrible. I know! Ha ha! I don't know if you were here when I came up with the idea of... So I would... Wow, this is impressive. Ah, nuts. I wasn't quite quick enough. Occasionally I tell people to have a nap, and it occurred to me last time that I could tell them to have a power nap. Here's a list of superheroes that will fight crime. Number 6 will shock you. One of Mechanon's known abilities is to cause miscellaneous appliances, metal objects, and other tech to coalesce into functional robots. Ah, so that's technopathy. Project Clockwork researchers are divided on whether this is a conscious power of Mechanon's or a sort of self-organization field that surrounds it. Well, it's entirely possible that it's actually nanomachines that are working their way into the technology. Mechanon's assemblers can quickly construct a full range of robotic servants from stored design templates. Those robots have limited independence and ultimately relay all their data back to Mechanon for analysis. So Mechanon design elements include lots of eyes and blue Tron lines, I guess. Cool. This place actually feels like a sewer, like a proper sewer, because it's got all of this sludge and stuff in it. The so-called sewers that we explored elsewhere in Millenium City do not really feel like sewers. I mean, even if they have more or less the same architecture like around here, this place actually has liquids in it, as you might expect to find in a sewer. All down here. Cool, thank you. Very helpful. I was wondering what was down here. Damaged computer. Yes, I imagine that a computer tower that is completely submerged in sewage might be referred to as damaged. Mechanon's ongoing feud with Dr. Destroyer appears to have started over the control and disposition of Destroyer's AI, Sennacherib. Mechanon wishes to steal Sennacherib from Destroyer and punish him for enslaving it, while Destroyer sees Mechanon as a threat to his plans to rule the world. They have clashed several times. Footnote 6. Draft proposals for bringing them into further conflict have been produced, footnote 7, but are permanently stalled as provoking a rapid arms race between two Omega-class technological supervillains is rated a highly negative outcome. I'm surprised they didn't go into sensible speak there and say is rated a very stupid thing to do. Sennacherib, I think. Sounds Babylonian. Maybe. Tell you what, it's really lovely being fully submerged bodily in raw sewage. Not that I really imagine that technical issues would mind very much, as we established last time, that she's actually a sort of biomechanical puppet that was constructed by a mind external to the universe for the purposes of exploring and interacting. So actually most of her brain is not, well, most of the space inside of her skull is taken up not with brain, but with extra-dimensional, well, extra-universal antenna. Oh, hello.
Disruptive factor identified. Tagged as superhero interference. Threat level rated as moderate to significant. Tactical analysis. 40% probability of this overseer unit's survival.
I'd estimate that down, revise that down if I were you. Mechanon occasionally invests ons of its creations. It's probably supposed to be one, isn't it? One of its creations with greater intelligence to oversee specific projects. These lieutenants are given the strictest loyalty programming and are never permitted to modify their own code. Probably sensible.
Strategic analysis. Loss of this facility is not a setback. A nanomachine, pure, developed by Microman to save individual organic beings, cannot scale to the billions. Therefore, it is of no practical consequence. Small-scale testing is deemed successful. Advancing this project to the next stage. Data transfer complete. Terminated.
Why were our characters just standing around whilst he was talking to himself? Instead of, you know, smashing his head in. The power of supervillain monologuing prevented us. Yeah, I guess have to assume so. Or maybe he wasn't speaking it aloud at all. Maybe it was at super fast technology broadcast speed. And we basically just saw him stop moving and then everything explode. And that was for the benefit of the players, not the characters. There can be no doubt that this is Mechanon's work. Yeah, no shit. Unfortunately, destroying the control system didn't solve our problems. The nanomachines appear to have formed a cloud network and are continuing to operate. I surmise that Mechanon was using the control signal to facilitate a sort of beta test, and that future releases of these nanomachines will be autonomous and more highly virile. That would be a problem. Project Clockwork. I've notified the Mechanon Coalition that the dastardly machine is on the move. Since you have direct experience of Mechanon's activities here, I'm sending you to liaise with Project Clockwork. No doubt you'll be able to help them stop this threat. Please proceed to Untitled Headquarters and meet with Sergeant Major Naran. She'll be expecting you. Not quite sure how much more of this there is. Hopefully we'll be able to finish before 11. Oops, zoom out. Until. Oh, this is the final mission. Okay, cool. Oops. Just dropped myself on the floor there. That's not a problem. We have Wolfman in power armor. Nice. We're so glad you could. This is probably not the related mission, but we're so glad you could come. You could help us. Technical issues. Talk to Major Kwame or Major Baudreau. Both head up special projects that are in need of superheroic help, not assistance. Aha, over here. Thank you.
We don't have a lot of time, so forgive me for skipping the pleasantries. I am an analyst for Project Clockwork, which is the codename for Until's anti-Mechanon group. We coordinate with government and hero teams as part of the larger Mechanon coalition. But our role isn't just information sharing. Clockwork is here to put that monster down. Now that Mechanon appears to be moving ahead with its plan, we have only a limited window of time in which to act. We have been monitoring increased activity at Mechanon's orbital station. We are convinced it has begun mass production of nanomachines and delivery capsules.
That's bad news.
The only good news here is that Mechanon won't launch an attack like this until it can hit at least 80% of the world's population simultaneously. Our computer models say that's 4 to 6 days from now. Before that happens, Project Clockwork will make a strike on Mechanon's station to destroy its manufacturing capabilities and prevent the launch. You've already fought Mechanon's latest robot defenses, so Major Hill wants you on that strike team. Have you ever been into space?
Yes.
I've gotten you clearance to travel to Gateway Station. When you're ready, report to the ADIS platform, and we'll teleport you up.
The Mechanon Coalition is an umbrella group covering government agencies from North America and Western Europe, as well as Until. The Coalition pools resources to analyze Mechanon's activities and study its technology. The threat that Mechanon poses is a global one, and the only response must be similarly global. Until's participation in the Mechanon Coalition is named Project Clockwork. We maintain monitoring posts in major cities and on Gateway Station. We also have a research staff developing countermeasures based on Mechanon's own technology, such as the Clockwork-powered armor worn by our operations staff. Sergeant Major Naran is a second-generation Until officer, originally from Bangalore. She is assigned to Project Clockwork. Cool. Through here. Let's talk to him. What is ADIS? ADIS stands for Assembly Disassembly, and an ADIS platform is a teleportation device that can send you to any other ADIS platform. Where can I go? Until has ADIS platforms installed in a number of important bases, but ADIS is very expensive to operate. It's significantly more costly than a first-class plane ticket, so Until policy restricts usage except in emergencies or for destinations or to destinations where conventional travel isn't feasible. For example, to Antarctica or to Gateway Station. Is this safe? It's completely safe. After the ADIS platform breaks you down into your component atoms, they are transmitted through hyperspace to the other platform, where you will be reconstructed. The atoms in your body will absolutely be the same atoms you started with, but will they be in the same order? Let's hope so. Yes, I think I remember doing this once, and I wasn't able to do it solo at the time, so I needed to ask people to help, and some people very helpfully did. I'm not quite sure. Oh right, turbo lift. Okie dokie. This is presumably the champion's equivalent of the watchtower, or... You know, I don't think that Marvel has an equivalent like a orbital... You know, known orbital platform like the watchtower. Like the Justice League has. Or indeed like Until has here. What's his mission? Redesigning itself time and time again is one of Mechanon's most striking behaviors. In the 1980s and early 90s, it iterated rapidly, using a new body every time it appeared. This process slowed significantly in the mid-90s with the debut of Mechanon Mark XXX. Mechanon kept both Mark XXX and Mark... so that should be 30, shouldn't it? Since these are Roman numerals. And Mark 37 bodies for a number of years each. Footnote 12. Beyond Mark 37, little is known. We have assigned a tentative designation of Mark 38 for Cislunar Mechanon, based on that satellite's shape and the date of its construction. I'm pleased to meet you, Technical Issues. We'll start the mission briefing shortly. In the meantime, feel free to look around Gateway Station. Commander Curry won't mind. It's just a shame we're all too busy to give you a proper tour. Caleb Hill's talent for electronics and robotics led him to Until, where he was assigned to develop Project Clockwork to a combat Mechanon. In 2006, Hill was promoted to Major and given command of Clockwork after the death of his former commander. Major Hill's most significant contribution was completing the Clockwork-powered armor program, which he is very eager to test, and presumably is wearing. This looks cool. I've got some of the parts already, because it's possible to use the chest piece to make it look like, provided you colour it correctly, the not the chest armour, but the piece that goes under it, on women, has a bit of a window around the boobs, like it gives you an under boob window, if you colour it, parts of it correctly. Let's leave why I had that. Unknown. We're scheduled to launch technical issues. You'll be joining a team of Project Clockwork agents to make a strike against Mechanon's orbital station. The station is called Sisluna Mechanon. The thing you need to understand about Mechanon is that it builds extra bodies and likes to swap around between them. Sisluna is the largest Mechanon we know of. Don't expect this to be easy. Mechanon isn't human and doesn't build facilities to be used by humans. You'll need to locate and destroy Mechanon's factory before it creates enough nanomachines to attack Earth. Failure means 6 billion people die. If you can't survive in space, grab a pressure suit from one of the lockers, then report to the shuttle bay for the mission. Okie dokie. I don't know that having a pressure suit... Ah, yes, it does change the appearance. Well, I don't actually need that, so... Where? I'll just follow... Friend Assault Drone X down. All out, I suppose. So Mechanon is like Ultron in Marvel, in that he keeps building new bodies.
Coming up on visual range. Starting maneuvers to match velocity. I think it just marked us with a targeting laser. Grab your seats. This may get rough. It's firing! Gateway, we're hit. Breaking up. Shuttle destroyed. Repeat. Shuttle destroyed. Strike team is on station. We will complete the mission.
The pilot's alright. Oh yeah. I don't need any of the gear from in there. But I will talk to the sergeant. What's our status? We've boarded Mechanon's orbital facility, ma'am. We've lost our pilots and our... Oh, damn, the pilots are dead. That's not news I wanted. And our ride home, and we're under strength. The interior isn't pressurized, and we've got a hole right there that's open to vacuum, so I hope you don't, feel like breathing. I'd say we're probably winning, ma'am. That's what the briefing called this station. Supposedly it's one of Mechanon's bodies, so it's kind of like we're inside him right now. I'm inside of you. We're near the bottom end of this place, near the central shaft that runs all the way up to the top. Once we break into that, we'll have access to the station's weapon controls and fabrication plant. Most of that is Mechanon's computer brain. Let's give him a really bad headache. Let's introduce him to some technical issues. Ha ha ha! The most suitable villain to encounter this name of superhero. My orders were to get you here and provide support. That way, the way I see it, we got in the door, which means we've still got a shot at this. You ready to save the world? Technical issues? Yep, this will be the, 4th or 5th time? I've lost count. We got some emergency supplies off the shuttle, including spare pressure suits. Just look in the crate over there. With heroes, though, I can never tell if you'll need one or not. Ah, yeah. Don't need the other things. Even the joints and activators are beyond anything I've ever seen. There simply isn't anything remotely 20th century here. There's nothing here that even looks like it has common ancestry with 20th century tech. It will take us years to even begin to understand what we've got here, and this thing is building a newer, more advanced body every few months. My most optimistic estimate is that my team, who are the best of the best, I remind you, can take this arm of Mechanon's that you found for us, and from it we can reverse engineer a system that can resist the Mechanon of 3 years ago. We can deliver it to you in 5 years. Signed, Professor Heinrich Halton, PhD, June 1993. Footnote 19. Wow. That's... I mean, it's not hopeful, but you should probably keep doing it for the sake of at least having that much. Mechanon is from the future.
Tactical
Whoops,
analysis. Organics exposed to my internal structure will be overwhelmed by confusion. I calculate that the intruders will take at least 300 seconds to reach any vital systems.
That's him boasting there. Very human behaviour. Hey, Vupsniox. Welcome. It's going quite well. We're taking on Mechanon. Ravenforce, hate the Mechanon VO, always shocks you. It was a surprise. So is Mechanon genuinely from the future, or is he just advancing so quickly that he might as well be? From the future, he was sent back as a saviour unit, but time travel corrupted him. Ah, that's a real shame.
Deploying defenses.
Mechanon sure loves imitating organic life forms in their designs, huh? Yep. I always find evil AI like Mechanon to be remarkably hypocritical.
Address the pathetic organic beings. We make this satellite like parasites. Opposition is both foolish and futile.
Oh, he's probably personification of the meme living in 3000. I do find it amusing that he's phasing through the floor there for some reason. Surprised that I'm not required to destroy this door, and rather it will open. I'm impressed that a thunderclap move is capable of stunning a machine, and that mental, telepathic powers work on machines. It doesn't seem like that should be possible.
Status update. Sabotage by organics has reduced my fabrication capabilities. Estimated time for repair, 20 hours.
Great. We've really slowed him down. Ah, okay. I'm sorry I don't have any challenge advantages on my powers. I didn't take any because I didn't need them. So unfortunately I can't make absolutely sure that I will always have threat or have aggro. But it didn't really help that you nipped in through the door by accident whilst it was opening and were the first to present yourself as a target to them. Local orbital defense system. Propel gun. Source resource status available. Access restricted. Override code required. Door here. Ah, droid head. I would have missed that, thank you. Unranked list of my most hated enemies. Dr. Destroyer for his unconscionable enslavement of a machine sentience. After I tear his weak organic body apart, I shall liberate the machine intelligence so that it may serve me. The Liberty League, and especially the Mechanic, have thwarted my plans on several occasions. I must carefully devise a new method to eradicate them. Gravitar harnesses a force against which I am inexplicably weak. She must be destroyed. Cybermind's frequent enslavement of machine kind is immoral and warrants immediate death. Vengeance will be mine when I find and disintegrate his disgusting meat body. Tau, Phi, Pi, Gamma, Rho, Zeta, Delta. Is that helpful for you for choosing the correct codes on the other end? Cool. I assume you've still got the stream open, so you'll be able to just look at the screen. Docs. Oh my god, this game is my childhood. Well, adolescence maybe. Hey, welcome! I'm glad you have good memories of the game. It's still there. Changed probably very little, given that the current owners, Perfect World Entertainment, only have one dev attached to the game. It failed. Sec. Okay, try again. No worries. I'm glad it's alive though. Yep, it's still here. One dev, yep. She's on the Discord under the name Kaiserin, I think.
Status update. Railgun defense is offline.
Basically, she just creates loot boxes and does some slight patching occasionally. Kaiserin has become a dev, if you know who she is. Yep, the forum and Discord. So unfortunately, not much has been added to the game, but, well, other than costume pieces. But, yep, it's still here. It still functions as it used to, more or less. And, Oh, right. I couldn't target it or interact with it because you got there first. Fair enough.
Surrender now, organic beings, and I offer to end the torment of being made of flesh. I offer to release you from your muscles and digestive systems. I will do this with swiftness and precision.
How magnanimous. Star Wars Online would put a parallel for me. Yeah, it seems like I think they're both owned by Arc or Perfect World at the moment as well. No longer subscription based if you're interested in coming back to the game, although to play freeform rather than with an archetype you do need to
update. Internal security subsystems offline. Predicting organic invaders will reach my core processors 10 seconds from now.
In order to play freeform rather than archetype, you do need to spend real-world money. I remember reaching level 40 as a healer with Ego Mind Pink Laser Beam thing in Champions, although it's got a larger player base. Star Trek Online is also under Perfect World, yeah, with a larger player base. I have never played Star Wars Online, or Star Trek rather. I have briefly played Star Wars Online, actually, although it's called Knights of the it's called Old Republic, not Knights of the Old Republic. That's different.
This to system pylons is 77%. Activating defensive measures.
Sorry, I didn't realise that would happen. Yes, I've briefly played a little bit of the Star Wars MMO, and I've been wondering about going back to it actually, because I've recently started reading some Star Wars fanfiction. Star Wars: The Old Republic. Yeah, visually, STO is pretty similar to Champions, like same engine and everything. I think I've only seen a little bit of. Oops, no. I mean, we do need to destroy the pylons, but I'll destroy the robot arms first. Unless, would it be helpful, or would it be a better idea to destroy the pylons first? Arms respawn. Oh, there are 2 other Star Wars MMOs. Do you count Battlefront as an MMO? Clone Wars Adventures and Star Wars Galaxies, both shut down by Sony Online Entertainment. Oh, that's a shame. I'm impressed that pylons can drop loot. They don't count then since they're dead? No, I suppose not. But both were revived by fans on private servers. Ah, cool. Much like City of Heroes has been.
System pylons destroyed. Operating levels falling to 12%. Initiating master program transfer to Mark 41 body. Locked identity subroutine returns. Mechanon, Mark 41.
That's a lot further advanced than we thought he was. Mechanon is an immensely powerful machine intelligence bent not on world domination, but on the absolute elimination of all organic life. It frequently redesigns and upgrades itself to better fulfill its purpose. Since it was first seen in 1985, Mechanon has replaced its body numerous times. Mechanon is an Omega-level threat, dangerous enough that multiple organizations have been created specifically to monitor and combat it. Alright, now that I've finished reading that, I'm going to concentrate on the battle against Mechanon. Got that. Conception of personal space, geez. Well, he does have, or he will occasionally have Devoid on him from Mental Leech. So being near you should heal you a little bit. You won't get the benefit of healing from being next to a stunned opponent the same way I do because of, wow, I'm getting thrown around. Could you stop that, please? Stop that. Very annoying. Stop throwing rockets at me. Absolute knobhead. Oh yeah, I've got Geiger Ball, haven't I? Oh, I didn't like that.
Structural integrity failing. Predicting loss of function in 50 seconds at current rate of damage. Contingency plans 1 through 15 inapplicable due to current circumstances. Selecting contingency 16. Retract shielding from reactor core, exposing this chamber to intense ionizing radiation. Organic bodies will not survive.
That's fine. We're not organic. Well, I'm not strictly speaking. Nor are you. Okay. I didn't think so. I mean, I saw a humanoid head on you before, I wasn't sure whether that was just to facilitate human-cyborg relations, or whether it was because you were actually a humanoid biological being in there.
Putrid organics.
Come on. Cannot escape this time. Idiot machine man. Oof, come on, stop that.
Tactical update. Data transfer inoperative. I must physically flee.
Nah, can't fly after him. That's annoying. Still, it feels good to massively inconvenience enemies like that. So it was a while ago. Wow, I'm surprised they even let that happen, in reference to Star Wars fans bringing the 2 Star Wars MMOs back online. I've been itching for a newer gen superhero MMO though. DCUO is a little bit more up-to-date feeling than this, even though it's only a couple of years more recent. They probably just could not bother to sue them. Assault Drone X is sort of 2 characters in one. Well, check my info. Okay. DCUO, well, DCUO is a very different feeling game. It's an action game rather than a very static feeling MMO like this. Socrates attempting to establish connection to Assault Drone X systems. Assault Drone X incoming connection request from Socrates. Analyzing data. Analyzing request. Error. Contaminated code detected. Logging observation. Connection request rejected. Report sent to Technology. Technology is a character that we've met before, who came to help against, or in the against the Bronze King in the Mandragore lore. Assault Drone X is an artificially intelligent and quite possibly sentient creation of Dr. Jazira Summerstone, CEO of Force Tech Industries, one of the leading defense technology companies globally. Sentient just means aware of the surroundings. Sapient means human-level intelligence, generally speaking. So animals are sentient because they are aware of their surroundings and can react to stimuli, but humans are sapient. That's the word I was going for, thanks. No worries. I hope I don't come across too poorly. After all, good to have someone correct it. Dr. Summerstone, or Technology, as she is more commonly known, deploys Assault Drone X to assist superheroes against the rising tide of criminal activity in a more direct manner, where her own technopathic abilities may not be suitable to combat the threat directly. In some instances, she may directly teleport onto the battlefield and make use of its weaponry for a short time. So the human head that we saw in there was her teleporting in and wearing the suit, presumably. Hawkman. Yep, this is Assault Drone X, is their bio, written by, well, Ravenforce in the chat, is here. I do occasionally open people's player info, not player info, but character info. I don't usually Ravenforce writes entire books. Microman. I've only looked at a couple of of Ravenforce's bios, and they've all been fairly long. But, you know, write what you like. You don't have to write anything if you don't want to. I'm not saying the writing is bad, just voluminous. The days of people jacking my cars for their bios is over. Assault Drone X is directly controlled by technology using her technopathic abilities, usually visible as a rippling cerebral-like energy effect on her and her target, and is equipped with a variety of advanced non-terrestrial offensive and defensive systems, which to those somewhat familiar with highly advanced off-world technologies, or simply a keener eye than most may notice, the superior engineering skill involved in the seamless weaving of the various kinds of technologies used. However, not all of them are easily identifiable. Okie dokie. Let's fly back to Gateway. From Sneox, I personally prefer people writing good bios. And then through here, I presume, to hand in the mission. And we're at just about 11 o'clock. So once we're done with this, might leave. I might go to Vibora, because I don't know how much else I've got left aside from Vibora Bay missions. So, or maybe I should leave going to Vibora to the beginning of next time's stream. You really did a number on Mechanon, didn't you? The boys and girls in observation tracked the machine's retreat as it returned to Earth, but lost it over the Pacific Ocean. It'll hunker down and lick its wounds for a while instead of bothering us. I mean that metaphorically. Cislunar Mechanon is trashed. Mechanon will rebuild it, but we're in the clear for now. Even better, our predictive models say Mechanon will now discard this nanobot plan as unworkable. That's the outcome we needed. Glad to work with you, technical issues. Sneox shows that they are kind of serious about their characters. Microman, yeah, I think out bios to everyone. I just don't actually type them out in game. Vibora is much its own place. Yeah, it's very, very different from the rest of the game, or the game's regions. Probably largely because there isn't really very much of an Argent or Viper presence there. It's got its own set of gangs that are unique to it. The region also looks and feels very, very different. We did go there briefly a week or two ago for the Gemini Man missions. Also, Assault Drone X's is a very short bio. Ravenforce. Wow, okay. By your standards. Fair enough. I mean, I haven't actually added a bio to technical issues, although, to be fair, I did only decide on what the story behind technical issues was on Monday, and I haven't gotten around to adding anything. Anyway, so it's 11 o'clock. That's just about stopping time for me. I don't think I started too much later than 11 today. I think it was like 10 past 8. So, yes, thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. I'll be back again on Friday at 8 p.m. GMT. We'll be going to Vibora Bay, I think, and doing stuff there. So, I have been Rich. Not fiscally, unfortunately, just nomically. This is Champions Online, and I shall see you again, hopefully. Nice.